from the way North Carolina State, the Wolfpack played tonight. You see they was extremely motivated. They were energized to the maximum degree. I thought that their defense was about as solid as any time we've ever played them. Normally we like teams to press us, and we have, over the years we have schemes that we think that handle most presses. But so they took advantage of our inexperience. They took advantage of our lack of this edition of the FSU basketball team, and I thought they exploited and did an outstanding job. I always tell people sometimes it's hard to shoot 60% from three when you're in the gym by yourself with no defense. And it just shows that they have a unique ability to create off the bounce and be accurate. And they had one of those nights where their schemes and their abilities matched. When you get 32 baskets and you only have 10 assists, those are guys who really can score, by creating off the bounce. That's a unique skill. And they have several of them that makes it more difficult. Normally a team, when I look back over my coaching career, I probably have maybe 5 or 6 times I've had guys who, 2 or 3 guys that are really good at creating off the dribble and knocking down threes as well as taking the ball to the basket. That's the unique thing about them. And you gotta give Burns a lot of credit because he's such a unique guy. He has such a high basketball IQ. And his skill set is that, he's a great passer. He sees the floor very well. And it's hard to double him because he knows where everybody's on the court. He's kind of like a 0.5. And I don't know if we've played against anybody with his skill set and his physical presence on the court. And I think that if they continue to keep playing this way, I think you can expect them to have it'd be a tough out for people when they get to the NCAA tournament. We're who we are right now. If you watched us play over the years, we seem to be benefiting. We're getting the focus because of teams past Florida State. We seem to be getting everybody's best shot, whether we're at home or on the road, and that's a compliment to our team. But this edition of this team is struggling, trying to live up to the standard that we've set. Hopefully we'll learn from this game. We can go on the road to play against Louisville, and hopefully we can straighten it out. But this has been one of those years where we're not who we have been, but we'll be back.
You mentioned NC State had a lot of weapons. How hard is that when you can't really double off, like a guy like Burns, for example?
Well, when you have guys, see, they're not run. We've been known to take people out of systems. We overplay, we front the post, we switch 1 through 5. That didn't necessarily affect these guys because they have that unusual ability to create off the bounce and be accurate. They haven't always shot as a team as well as they shot tonight. But when you see if they're doing it, somebody's always shooting this way and creating this way. Tonight they had everybody creating at the same time, and that's a dangerous thing for a team coming in and playing against a team of this caliber. And you just got to take your hat off to them. They got if they continue to stay with who they are and keep playing the way they played against us, you can expect them to have a good year. And it's extremely challenging to ask your question. You're asking the question, to defend when you have people can score from 4 spots from the perimeter and quick enough to drive by you. And then when the ball goes down, they have a big guy in the middle that makes decisions like he's a coach on the floor or a point guard. Those are unusual skills to match up with, especially with a low center of gravity where you're not going to really move it. And they have a unique skill. If they can stay consistent, they're going to be extremely challenging for people.
And then your thoughts on NC State defensively? A lot of people are saying this is one of the better defensive teams that they've had many years.
What's one of the better defensive teams that we played against all year? Chuck, can you tell Chuck, give me a bottle of water, please? No, the night I thought that they made us uncomfortable from the beginning. They were extremely active, overplaying and pressuring the ball, and you know, and that really kept us out of sync almost the whole first half. The defense was excellent. The offense was even better.
Coach, in the second half, you know, you guys are playing better. At the end of the first half, you continue to push in the second. Burns goes out of the game at that point. Did you feel like at that point you had a chance to maybe get back there? Could you sense that it was just going to be too hard to do?
There were just so many things that we didn't execute properly because of our inexperience. I've never had a team that didn't have any third and fourth year players. I'm all got first and second year players. I've never had a team, so a lot of things we're still teaching. You would think that by now some of the new guys would have picked up things, but that's not the way our system is built. You know, we try to be different in a different kind of way than what the Wolfpack is doing. They got a unique skill set that they create off the bounce. The guys that really share the ball. I mean, I thought that they played to each other, created for each other, kept the ball moving, and this is the best defensive team that we've played against since I've been coaching in the ACC at North Carolina State, and they're capable of doing that. Sometimes it's the matchups, but this was a bad matchup for us in relation to who we are and the experience that we have. We had very few possessions where we made them pay for being aggressive, pressing us full court. I mean, we had a few times where we made some plays, but we were not consistent with it. And this is the second time we played as a team that pressed us this year. We lost both of the games.
In your experience, has any team brought in so many players like NC State had? How common is that to have that type of success?
Well, to be very honest with you, just about every team we played this year has done the same thing that NC State's doing. I mean, in their own way, even the mid-major teams. I'm playing against 3 graduate students. I mean, I played against someone who started 4 guys out of the portal. This is the new wave of college basketball, and it's really affecting the attention that high school guys are getting now, because people just waiting. You have to make a decision: do you want an 18-year-old? Do you want a 22 or 23-year-old? And it's a senior or graduate student, and maybe when the COVID plays itself out, you know, maybe it might settle a little bit, but I don't see it changing, because guys are not signing kids out of high school in November, waiting to see what's available in the spring. And last year there were, I think, close to 2,000 kids that put their name in the portal, and 450 of them didn't get scholarships at all. So it's this whole phase that we're going through right now is a little challenging, not only for the players, but for the teams that expect players to come back. I lost players this year because they decided to go on and go after their futures, which I have no problem with. But when you don't know, sometimes you have to be prepared for that. And I had 2 ACLs. That's 5 guys that I plan to have that's not on my team. But you have to prepare for that. And most of the teams that we played against this year have had influx of transfers. And I don't see anything wrong with it. That's what we have to adjust to. I just didn't get the memo. You know, I had to learn the hard way, but I got it then.
Having said that, how do you plan to adjust for next year, seeing all the changes in the portal this year?
We're gonna be just fine.
Okay.
Any more questions for Coach? Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.